All right, so one of the last videos that I did, last Let's Talks videos that I did, was a video on the PlayStation blog posts about upcoming PS5 OS updates or console updates that they are working on currently, and anybody in preview program already had access to it. Well, I decided to sign up for the preview program and was in, like, I think it was about 4 to 5 hours later, they actually sent me an email with a code so I could actually download the beta software updates. And lo and behold, I actually have it running right here now. That it does say, that this is a beta software and maybe don't make so many videos or live stream, but of course, this is my main console. I live stream on this, so yeah, one way or the other, you're gonna end up seeing the console running at 1440p. Now, I just did a full-on live stream, playing around with a little bit of Fortnite, getting some challenges done, and it ran perfectly smooth at 1440p. But one thing that the PlayStation blog didn't say was very similar to how Xbox Series and Xbox One runs at 1440p, 60 FPS. There's another feature that these next gen consoles or current gen consoles can do, and that being 120 FPS support, 120 hertz support at 1440p over HDMI 2.0. Now, if you don't know, to do 4K 120 FPS, you need to have a newer model monitor or TV that has an HDMI 2.1 built into it. But if you want to do 1440p, or actually on the Xbox it's 1080 at 120 FPS, then yeah, you can end up doing that, but it has to be supported by the console at 1440p. So I just wanted to show this off real quick, that I don't think anybody's really been talking about it. I'm going to bring myself down here, but yes, you can see, you can actually see right down, where is it, down there, it says beta 2.0, because this is the beta software. So any of this stuff can be changed later on down the road. But what I found to be pretty cool is if you come into here, here, yeah, you get all this, the 1440p support, the VRR support is there. Unfortunately, my monitor does not do VRR support, but this 120 hertz output is here also. Now, the first game that I loaded up to test out, because when I went into here, video output, it says 1440p 60 hertz, and it only says 60 hertz. But when I do the test, it says you'll test for 60 and 120. And if I click into that, it will actually, I don't want to do it because the capture card might mess up or whatever. But if I click into that, it popped up saying 1440p at 120 hertz. I'm like, wait, what? Oh. Lo and behold, when I click into, I can actually show you right here. So let's click into Fortnite real quick. I know Fortnite, all that stuff, but it is a good test because it's the Unreal Engine 5, so it is a good test bench for one of the newer game engines to be running with 120 FPS if supported. Okay, so we are at the main menu right here. Yes, I picked up the John Cena DLC, but I can also tell you that if I bring this up, so this says 60 FPS down there, and if I'm just going to keep my big head right there. If we go into settings, you can actually turn on, you can enable 120 FPS mode. It will say 60 FPS in this main menu. As soon as I load into the game though and drop into a lobby and being able to run around, this turns over to 120 FPS. Again, I tested on Resident Evil 3 Remake, was the first one that I loaded up to give a test run on. Again, RE engine, and that is the latest build of the RE engine that is available really on the PlayStation 5. So I loaded up RE3 Remake, and as soon as I turned off the ray tracing, boom, 120 FPS kicked in, just like it normally would on HDMI 2.1. Again, this is an Asus monitor with HDMI 2.0 ports. So as long as it is running native 1440p, because this is a 1440p display also, it will give you the option for higher frame rates. Okay, so now that we are in the game, you can actually see up there in the top right hand corner, it's very small, but it says 120 FPS, so it is enabled. If I swing the camera around, well, you can't see it on the capture card, but yeah, it is definitely running very, very smooth. It looks like the PC version of it, of what I would run at 1440p, 120 FPS. So apparently I have because I was going to check out or I was going to revisit the Modern Warfare storyline that I have, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the PS4 version of Warzone, so no high frame rate mode. So that's another thing you got to also to keep in mind too, is that you need the right, first the game has to have high frame rate modes enabled in it, and then also you need to have the the right version of the game. Make sure to have the PS5 version of a game installed. One other thing too that I will say about this update, just like they were saying, you have your activity cards, so you have like your start activity thing right here. Next activity would be the remote factory for my RE Village playthrough. Here you'll find recommended game activities for quick access. Use these to join a friend's game or jump straight into a specific activity. If I click onto this, I'm kind of curious what it will actually do. So unfortunately, this game does not have high frame rate stuff. Oh, okay. So it just kicked me right into my save file. That's cool. That's very cool. Unfortunately, I do believe this does not have high frame rate modes built into it. Let's see here, display, yeah, HDR ray tracing. So if you're running like Resident Evil 2 or 3 Remake, RE7, also, they all have high frame rate modes built in to the game engine. Again, the Resident Evil engine, the RE engine anyways. It's very scalable, but only certain select titles have all of the high frame rate mode built into it. Now, one other thing I will say, if I click into Fortnite, then the console will kick up to 120 FPS. As soon as I close out of Fortnite, it will go black screen, and then it'll load up into 60 FPS mode once again. So if it flips between, I definitely, through testing on another monitor, I definitely noticed that the console will stay in 120 FPS mode normally. So that's a little bit different, but it's not a big deal. It might be changed again. This is just the beta software, so it could very easily be changed when the full thing gets released later on this year. But so far, yeah, like the cards, it's in your collections, and then you have like a Resident Evil. So what I made was a Resident Evil, Soulsborne, Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, like any games I have multiple titles of. So instead of having to go through and like, find the game and all these like betas and demos and everything that gets all thrown into the list, you can have everything right there. So in those folders, which is very useful and very helpful. Outside of that, yeah, it's pretty much a lot of your same operating system. So nothing's getting dramatically thrown all over the place or anything. But yeah, everything's been working very good so far, and I can't wait to see what ends up being on the next update afterwards. So yeah, just a little bit of a update on the video I made before. So yeah, if you found anything useful or helpful in this video, hit that thumbs up, to like, share, subscribe, bell, all that good stuff. And yeah, I will see you next time on the next one. Oh, and check out PlayStation Plus. It is definitely jam-packed with new stuff dropping in all the time. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see you next time.